It's been a while since I've done one of these, but with the recent changes to Samira, I think it's about time that I do another meta update. There's probably a lot of people wondering, what runes do I take, what's the build, after the lifesteal changes, what do we do? Today I'm just going to help you guys. I'm going to go for the win rates, I'm going to go for my personal experience for both mid lane and bot lane. If you're an AD carryman and you're like, what the hell did he just say mid lane? Yup, I main Samira mid lane, but I'll be talking about both roles. Quick talk about the buffs. If you didn't know, Samira basically has just more lifesteal now on her ult and her Qs, so there's more reason for you to go with Bloodthirster. And a lot of people have been doing this. First item Bloodthirster has a pretty decent sample size now, and the win rate on it looks surprisingly good. It's very viable as a first item. It's a bit more of a defensive lifesteal playstyle though. It's a pricey item, so you get your power spike a bit later compared to like Collector. But for mid lane specifically, this item is super good. Into poke mages, assassins, it gives you protection, it gives you the damage to still kill your laners. Very good item for mid lane, but also very good for bot lane. Of course, all the data that I'm looking at is bot lane, because mid lane no one really plays it, apart from me and 10 others. So BT Rush, very good item. If you are rushing a BT, your next item is either going to be Collector or just straight up skipping Collector and going Infinity Edge. Infinity Edge has a higher win rate, but I also think it's just because people... You buy IE if you have like a lot of gold. If you're like, oh damn, I can buy a full IE here. Boom, why not? Collector feels a bit more consistent to me personally. Collector into IE feels pretty good. And then you go into Lord Dominic's fourth item. You are then extremely strong with 4 items. You got your IE, you got your Collector, you got your Armor Pen with Lord Dominic's, you got your Bloodthirster. Super good build. Probably the best build you can do right now. The other option you have is going Collector Rush, which is still very good. The win rate on it looks fine. Many people, thousands of people are still rushing Collector. The win rate on it just looks slightly worse than BT Rush. If you're going Collector Rush, the best items you can buy for that are either going to be Infinity Edge or BT. Personally, if I do go Collector, I like going Infinity Edge second, because that feels like you're more going for a bursty one-shot build and not really to survive. And then I would go BT third and then Lord Dominic's. So to sum that up, the two best builds currently, in my opinion, are either BT Rush into Collector, into IE, into Lord Dominic's, or Collector Rush into then IE, into then BT, and then a Lord Dominic's. That's pretty much the core build right now. The two possible builds you can do. There's two other options you can kind of do as a first item, but the sample size on this is so low that I can't really say for certain, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. The win rate on IE first item is really good. There's about 500 games on it in Emerald Plus, but the win rate is insanely high. So does that mean it's good? Were these people just winning and they're like, rocket, I'm buying a whole Infinity Edge as a first item? I'm not sure, but it's viable according to the win rate, like very viable. So feel free to test it out if you guys haven't already. And the second one is a personal favorite, Hubrish. For some reason, no one is buying this, and I don't know why. This item feels really good mid lane, bot lane, even more bot lane because you can get more stacks. But Hubrish is a very buildable item, guys. If you feel like you're gonna get a ton of kills, this scales super hard. Especially with the IE later on, with the amount of AD you have, you just crit for like 10 billion. If you're going the Hubrish route for bot lane specifically, I would go like Hubrish, Collector, IE, then Lord Dominic's or BT. It's a bit more of a squishy build, especially if you go no BT and Lord Dominic's and go 5th item BT, because then you get your defensive item super late, but you do so much damage. It's better, a build like that is better when you have a lot of good setup like a Nautilus and the Mumu jungle, because then you don't need to build survivability that much. If you do want to go IE Rush, apparently the best build is just IE into Collector, into BT or Lord Dominic's, and then you build the other one. Also apparently a pretty viable build. One more item for bot lane specifically, Serpents Fang. Pretty decent item. If you're playing with like a Lulu, Ivern jungle, blah blah blah, bunch of shielding champions, this is a very viable item, guys, as a first item. If you think this is very valuable, get it, it's good. It's cheap, it's really cheap, 2.5k. Even though I said last time I want to mention one more, Opportunity is actually not a bad item. I actually kind of like Opportunity. You could work this into a build. I think it's more of a for fun item, but it's definitely not bad. It's cheap, gives you AD, gives you lethality. It's a fun item. Try it out. Alright, so now for the runes. Realistically speaking, we still only have one major keystone for bot lane. It's Conqueror. Wouldn't recommend taking anything else. For mid lane, however, you can go Electrocute. Electrocute mid lane feels really, really good. Really good. I run it like 99% of the time. But first I'm gonna focus on bot lane. So if you don't have Conqueror as your first keystone, you're kinda griefing. After that, for bot lane specifically, you can either go into Triumph or Absorb Life. I don't really like Absorb Life, but the win rate on it does look pretty good. Wouldn't really recommend going Presence of Mind bot lane, even though it's essential for mid lane. After that, especially with the lifesteal buffs, I think it's always Bloodline. If you're not going Bloodline, I think you're kind of griefing. And then as the last one, you have either Last Stand or Coup de Grace. Don't think Cutdown is very good. Now the secondary page. And here you actually have a bit of freedom to choose. Your first option would be going into a domination tree. You can go Sun Impact and then Treasure Hunter. Apparently a lot of people are taking Taste of Blood. I don't really like Taste of Blood. I think this is kind of a waste. I think Sun Impact is way too good on Samira, so I'm not sure why people are getting this. Personally, I would just go Sun Impact, get the max burst to kill the enemy AD carries or the enemy carries, whatever. You're already going BT anyway. You really need more and more healing, especially when you already have Bloodline and BT and Triumph. Probably not. From the last row, realistically, it's only going to be Treasure Hunter, which shows it in the sample size. The other ones are just bad. Then there's the sorcery tree. You can still go for a scaling page. If you want to go Axiom Arcanist, which I think is a little bit underwhelming after the nerfs that they did a while back, or Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm, you can still pick these, they're not horrible. If you feel like you can't win the lane and you just want to sit there and scale up to mid game or late game, then you should take these runes. They're okay, they scale, you get guaranteed stats at like a certain amount of minutes, they're good. But if you want to play aggressively, if you want to win the lane, you have to go Domination. And then there is the Resolve tree. For some reason there's a lot of people taking Resolve. I actually don't really like the Resolve page at all. The win rate on it looks really bad, but it can also be explained just purely because if you're taking this, you're probably already playing into a really bad lane. But if you're playing into a bad lane, you might as well just take the scaling page instead. Apparently a lot of people are running Bone Plating, a lot of people are running Revitalize. Revitalize sounds good, but this rune has never had a good win rate on Samira for some reason. I think the healing is just fake. And the shielding as well. Like, if the win rate is not good when BT is insane as a first item, then Revitalize is just not good. As simple as that. Win rate on it looks horrible. Bone Plating as well. I feel like there's just too much poke champions in the game, especially bot lane versus like mage supports, even mages as a carry bot lane. When would you take Bone Plating? It just doesn't sound worth to me. I'd rather just take a scaling page. So people are taking this, but honestly I wouldn't. I would not recommend taking these. And then there's the Inspiration tree, and I actually kind of like this tree. Apparently these runes are really popular in Korea. I've been experimenting a little bit with cashback and it doesn't feel horrible. It actually feels pretty interesting, especially if you rush like, let's say an IE, which is super expensive, or a BT. You get 6% gold back, which is kind of good. Magical footwear is pretty good. Free boots cannot be bad. Cookies are also pretty decent. Cosmic Insight also pretty decent. Summoner Haste has never been on Samira. You're flashing a lot, flash is good. Barrier is good, for mid lane Ignite is good, Exhaust is good, having more of it is pretty good. So you could take this, there's never any good sample size on it, but every single patch this has a good win rate. So the people that are playing this, maybe like cooking up some hidden rune build, I don't know, but it looks good, it looks better than Resolve, way better. As the minor keystones, I personally like going attack speed into AD into flat health. But the win rate into double AD also apparently looks pretty good. I'm too wired to like having the little extra attack speed, so if I take double AD I'm just lost because I keep just cancelling my own auto attacks. But it's good, you get more AD, not horrible. Both are fine options. You never take CDR though, I don't know who's taking this, you guys probably misclicked. For the last one, flat health is good, scaling health is good. So just to sum that up, these are the two rune pages I think you should be taking bot lane. One if you want to play aggressively and win, another one if you want to just scale up. Here's the page I would take mid lane. I think Resolve is a bait, personally would never take it in bot lane ever. I'm now going to talk a little bit about mid lane. I play mid lane Samira. I play up the Diamond all the time, hit Master a few times. For mid lane specifically, I would take Electrocute most of the time now. Electrocute mid lane feels super good. Play aggressively, Sun Impact proc, get in there, take half of the health bar and win. You can still go Conqueror, but I kinda just prefer Electrocute. Champions I would take Conquer into are like Swain mid, maybe Yone Yasuo, Cho'Gath, Sion, the tanks, the champs you don't really want to face. Maybe like a Hui or a Victor. Because then I would just take a scaling page that I talked about earlier. Conqueror, scaling page with sorcery, and just scale. But if you can win the lane, if you want to play aggressively, I would just take this Electrocute page. Which is very good. It's very good, really good. I will talk about the bans real quick. Because you might be wondering, okay, what do I specifically ban bot lane? And it kind of just depends on what you see. Nyla is always a really good ban. If you see a lot of Nylas, unplayable matchup, just ban it. If you feel like you don't see any, you could ban something like a Mel. If you see a lot of those, you could ban Zeri, you could ban Kog'Maw, Jinx, Senna. Those apparently are the worst matchups for us currently bot lane. Wouldn't really focus too much on supports. I think there's too many supports that are just bad for us to face that I wouldn't waste a ban on them. I would just focus on banning a carry. For mid lane, I would either always ban Vex or Victor or Malphite. Those are my 3 go-to bans. All those are unplayable. Victor is the most unplayable, which I ban, but if I'm lower elo or playing in a bit lower elo, I would prefer to ban Vex. If I'm playing up in like Diamond, I would ban Victor all the time. But if you know your team's gonna be like full AD because you're playing an AD mid laner, then banning Malphite is a very good ban as well. One more final thing specifically for mid lane, a lot of people always ask me, why do I go a longsword start instead of Thorn's Blade? If you watch any of my videos, you know that very often, very often, I kill my laner like level 2, level 3, level 4. And the way I do this is with very aggressive trading. If you have 3 health potions, you can even go for a slightly uneven trade in their favor, and then just heal back up with the potion advantage that you have, and then you're like setting up an all-in. So it makes the worst trade slightly better because you just heal back up, and then you can set up for like a flash all-in into a free kill deluxe. It also builds into Vamp Scepter from rushing a BT, it builds into Hubrish, it builds into Collector. So I would get my first item slightly earlier than if I would just be building a Thorn's Blade. So that's why I like starting with a long sword. I don't know if this is good for bot lane specifically, but for mid lane, this is like my go-to starter item. Yeah. Almost forgot to mention the boots real quick. The data sites are not really saying much about the upgraded boots, so I can't speak much on that, but I can tell you what the boots look like in general. So as you can see, Swifties is still very viable. If you feel like Mercs is not good, if you feel like armor boots are not worth it to get, Swifties is a very viable boot options. Boots option. I like this still a lot mid lane, it feels pretty good. It's not too expensive. Yeah, Mercs are pretty essential though. If you don't buy Mercs into like a Leona comp or like an Amumu jungle, you might as well just leave the game. You can move for 10 years. So I would always check at least first, do you need Mercs? It could be laning mid to a Zed versus like a Mumu jungle, Leona bot lane. I would still buy Mercs. Mercs. Can't move otherwise. Mercs. Armor boots are also still fine if there's a lot of AD champions and you feel like Mercs isn't good. This is a very decent option. Some people are building Berserker's Greaves. I don't really like this, but you could, I guess. Kind of. I want to mention 2 more items real quick as like a final thing before I end the video. Spirit Visage is a very good defensive item, especially now with BT being like either core or in your build pretty much always. This extra healing magic defensive item is pretty good. If they are very AP heavy, you're playing into Mage's bot lane, you could get this as like a 4th or 5th item. And it's decent, it's very good. There's also this item, which is a piece of garbage. The win rate on it doesn't look horrible, but guys, spending 3.2k for 40 AD and 10 lifesteal just can't be good. I think you would only buy this if you're playing into like a really can't move team. Maybe like a Malzahar, and the Mumu, Sejuani, Leona. Definitely would not get it early game though. Maybe Max as a 3rd item. But yeah, I don't really like this item. You could buy it though, I guess. Alright, that was pretty much it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I pretty much answer everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you thought it was helpful. Goodbye.